All right, YouTube, back with the old P-51. I've been taking my time working on this plane. So this is a little update. You can see the center section here, and it's a little awkward to move around, but I burnt two high-tech D645 servos out for these here doors. They just burned out on me. They were brand new. So instead of sending them into high-tech and going through all that, I just bought two new ones. I still have the old ones, but they're not really old. They're brand new. Bought them off eBay, but I asked the guy to send me a receipt because that's what high-tech wants, and he never would get back with me. Okay, so this center, that knob, as I told you in my other video, it's on that side. It wasn't put in right. That's the one I fixed. I fixed it, but on the other side of this, I had to cut a hole out. Let's see, one of these struts goes down too far, and before the landing gear registers that it's down, and because of that, the tire hits the plastic there, and it won't register that it's down all the way. So that was a factory defect, and because of that, it's really hard to get the doors to work because it doesn't know it's down all the way because it goes down too far. So I've been dealing with that, and that's where the ignition's gonna go. I gotta drill the holes. Because this is so long, I had to order some long drill bits. I got the black hood in there glued down, but I don't have this. I'm setting up to glue this. The book tells you to glue the small little frame right here. It goes around like that. It tells you to glue it to the bottom. You only get to glue it to the bottom with epoxy. But if you notice, there's a little bit of a angle to that. If you try to glue that in, you'll never get that right. But the book tells you to glue this to the plane. Then in the very next picture, it says for you to glue it to this and let it sit overnight. So the only way to do it is glue this wood frame to the windshield with canopy glue. Once it dries, put epoxy on the bottom of the wood for that, and canopy glue around it, and sit it down in there. That's about the only way to do that. You can't do, it's hard to do both at once, so, you know. This little hole right here has to line up with the frame. Let me get it. took that tape off because I didn't want it to stick. That's how it has to be. Normally that fits right in there, but it ain't fitting now. I took it apart. I was messing with that. There we go. I was messing with that. And you can see the wood on this side, when it closes, it doesn't... That's still about... See, that's going to be real tricky to glue this on and have that fitted. I took this off a minute ago and moved it, and I didn't get it set back right, but that's why that pin is not reaching in there. But that is going to be really hard to glue this down in the right spot, and that's going to be tricky. And then the instructions to glue the canopy to this frame is a real nightmare. So I'm going over that. I got my Pilot, and here's the thing about the Pilot. You have to, here he is, I had to take the parachute off to sit him down in the seat, and I had to bend the heck out of his legs to get him in there to sit low enough. So he does look pretty good in there, but I got to stick in there, and I just don't want to put him in there right now, because if I do, I may break that off. I got to move this frame out of the way and stuff like that. And you can't really glue the Pilot in until you get these boards and stuff off after you glue in the canopies. So that's why I don't have that. And the only reason I don't have the elevators on is because it's too bulky in the house here to be moving around. So they're just right there. So it is coming along. All I really have to do to it is put the canopy on the frame, put the Pilot in, drill out the holes for the engine, mount the engine, put the switches in, and that's about it. You know, get the center of gravity. It looks worse than it looks farther away from being built than it is, but it's not. I have the holes drilled for the cow. I don't have the bottom of it cut out for the engine because I don't have the engine on there yet, but that's no big deal. I'm waiting on some low-tack tape so I can tape all this up and do this procedure they want you to do. It's really stupid, but you're trying to find this frame on the canopy, and so that they have you put tape on it, transfer the tape to the inside of the cow, and then find this quarter. It's about a 1/4 inch right there. So they start out with a piece of tape on that. It's a little bit of a hassle trying to figure out the instructions, but I'll have that okay pretty soon. So just wanted to give a little update. It'll be looking good when I'm done. So okay, stick with me, watch the other video. This is like number 2. I have another one and I'm getting ready to put on YouTube. So like and subscribe and stick with me. There's not very many videos on YouTube about building this plane. So I'm trying to fill that in and tell people a little bit, but Horizon Hobby took the plane off their website and no parts are available. They're all on back order, but here's what they did. They removed the plane from Horizon and said it was discontinued. They put 100 planes on eBay. Then I guess they weren't selling, so they took it back off. Well, I don't know if it's still on eBay, but they put it back on Horizon and took the discontinued name off of it. And the parts, they say, available in March, coming in March, which if you're going to discontinue the plane, it doesn't make sense that you're ordering more parts. So if you want any parts for this plane, better watch out in March and get you some, because you know, if you one little thing goes wrong on this plane and you break a canopy or lose a cow, or break a cow, lose a canopy, you're not gonna find one. So, you know, it's all about money in this world. So nobody gives a shit, except for in the beginning they want your money, and then the hell with you in the end. So, okay, YouTubers,